We're rolling.
Pleased to be joined by head coach of the South Plains College Texans. Coach Cayla Petree joins us inside the friendly confines of the Dome. A day after finding out that the NJCAA pollsters love the Lady Texans a little bit, Coach. You jumped from garnering a few votes to number 9 in the country. What a great way to start a season on a 10-game winning streak, 2-0 in the conference. Things are clicking for you right now.
Yes, sir.
So, it's got to feel good, right?
It feels good, but lots of basketball left to play. Can't get too ahead of ourselves. It's really cool to be top 10 in the country, but the only problem is there's 3 of us in our conference and in the top 10. Odessa's number 2, New Mexico's number 7, we're number 9, and then Midland's right there with us at number 14. So definitely not an easy road ahead.
Yeah, and there's some chores to do yet before you get back into conference play. You've got a pretty good basketball tournament coming in here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday this week.
Yeah, we've got Garden City on Sunday, Hill on Monday, and Otero on Tuesday, to finish up the semester. And none of those will be easy. We've already played Hill once down at their place, and we barely squeaked by with a win. And it was a pretty highly charged game, a lot of emotions. So I'm sure both teams will be ready to play. And then Garden beat us last year. They've had a good season so far. And Otero, they've played everyone in our conference pretty closely. So definitely can't get too ahead of ourselves. Kind of our approach every day is just to win the next play. We talk a lot about the possession battle. We don't want to give up offensive rebounds. We don't want to turn the ball over because we value our possessions so much, and we feel like that's how you win basketball games. So
one of the things that impressed me with this team, especially at Midland, was you trailed early in that ball game, but it seemed like the team kind of knew where they were going. They stayed the course. I thought you came out in the second half with a whole new energy level against the Midland Lady Chaps. And honestly, it's easy for a team on the road to a ranked opponent to get through a quarter and a half and go, well, this isn't going the way we expected it to go, and stay on task. And I thought you did a great job in that game, staying on point, getting the energy level up. The defense was very good down at Midland, especially through the back half of basketball.
Yeah, all the credit to the players on that. We have 6 returners that kind of, they remembered how the outcome of the games went last year. We played with them 30, 35 minutes both times, and then just kind of the wheels fell off, battling those big guys inside. So we had been talking about it and talking about the importance of being able to play a full 40 minutes, not 20 here, 6 here, up and down, and having those runs. And they really had really good focus and really good poise down the stretch.
Frank Phillips kind of presented a whole different thing altogether, because you go from playing that inside, slow, methodical offense kind of game to let's run down the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know, put up 60-some.
New Jack City.
Exactly.
They play hard, though. Coach Rodwall, he's got them playing really, really hard. They were 8-1, I believe, but their stats were crazy. They're one of the only teams that I've ever seen that has as many offensive rebounds as defensive. Everybody shoots the 3. They play a true 5-out motion offense, and they are looking to shoot the basketball. So completely opposite of Coach Jones in Midland. They're very disciplined, run that high-low. So 2 different extremes.
And it seems to me like a team like Frank Phillips is very hard to rebound against, because when the ball goes up from a long ways away, it has a tendency to go a long ways in a different direction if it's a miss. And quite honestly, it really comes down to just making sure you're bodied up really good, especially when you're in a man defense. That's a tough system to rebound against. And I think that's the inflated rebound number for a team like Frank Phillips College.
Most definitely. They provide some difficulties for anybody, not just us, but they play just so hard. But I thought our kids did a good job of, we call it hit and get. We pop them on the perimeter and then go get the ball. They did a good job. Rebounding has kind of been our point of emphasis all year long. We've definitely got to get better at that.
Meanwhile, the offense has been very balanced. I think you've scored at a lot of different levels. We've seen Yanina and Kina, which we know can shoot the 15 and drag big players out away from the rim. But we've seen the three go down well. We've seen some dribble penetrate work out. And I think Madeline Doris is really coming along
She's
underneath
coming
the
on.
basket, not only defensively, but we saw her look pretty good with the ball in her hands, I thought, against Frank Phillips in her last conference game.
Yeah, I think for us to be a good basketball team, that we need to have that balanced scoring attack. We've got Jay Beard, and Elizabeth, Sarah, and Yanni. They're all anywhere from the 12 to 20 usually point range any night, and then Brittany Smith, DeBrasia Beatty, Maddie Doris, they've all kind of came in, and I think that makes us difficult to guard. And one thing we stress is just being unselfish. So any given night, whoever's open is the one getting the shots, and they're all Yanni and Jay are both shooting right at 50% from the field. So you got to love that. We stressed taking good shots, and sometimes you might have a good shot, but our team might have a better shot. And I think we do a really good job of sharing the basketball and being unselfish and hitting the open man.
The other thing I thought really kind of adds a new wrinkle to this team is you use DeBrasia Beatty kind of as a point guard, if you will, but Brittany Smith can bring the ball up well. But the addition of Felicia has kind of changed that as well. I thought she's had a very couple of good ball games, spelling people out, getting quality minutes, running the point, and running this offense, pushing the ball up the floor and getting things going for them.
Yeah, we're really competitive at the point guard spot because, like you said, all three of them can bring the ball down and handle it under pressure. The thing about Felicia that she brings is, and she hasn't had a chance to showcase it as much as the others, but she can really shoot the three. And so when we have her out there on the floor, kind of stretches the defense and allows for a little bit better dribble penetration and post entry for the other guys. So she brings a different dynamic. Just really pleased to see her, as well as Nia Mims' confidence just coming along. That they didn't play as many minutes as probably they would have liked early, but as of late they're really contributing to what we're doing and really producing. So Nia came off the bench against Frank and was 5 of 6 from 3, 4 or 5 from 3, and had a layup and had 14 points. So really good for my little freshman baby.
Well, good news is you don't have to do a lot of encouraging out here. Apparently, I see Brock Kimball down here working with a player here. It's 10 after 10 in the morning on a dreary kind of a Wednesday, and you've got players in the gym. And that's this kind of a basketball team. It seems like a basketball team that likes to be here. They like to come in and get after things. They like to get cranked up. It's a lot easier on a coach when you don't have to coach things like motivation and those kind of and energy. It certainly makes coaching a basketball team a lot easier, I would think.
Most definitely. This is a team that spends more time in the gym than any team that I've ever coached just on their own. They come in. We don't want to have people that only show up at 3:30 for practice. We want the guys that are hungry for getting better. We talk about in the recruiting process that junior college, this is where you're at, this is where you want to go, and this is what you have to do to get there. And I try to do a good job helping those players identify what they need to improve on, and then getting them a plan. To get to where they want to go. And so they've bought in, and they're really a lot of fun to coach. We have a good time.
They get a little fired up in South Plains College Lady Texan basketball.
That's the rumor.
That's
the rumor.
I'm not verifying that or
confirming
or denying. Exactly right. Coach, final thoughts for us before we let you get back to a busy day ahead. Get ready for a big tournament coming in here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
We just got to take care of business. We're going to have a good practice today, and then we'll probably take a day off tomorrow. Maybe only get some light shooting up, and then two good practices, and then try to get one win at a time, and then go have a Merry Christmas with our mamas.
There you go. South Plains College Lady Texan, Coach Cayla Petree. I'm Michael Weiss. This is SPCTexans.com.